So hello and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm telling a little story about what's going on with my truck right now. This is quite unbelievable. My truck was running perfectly. I just started right up and it was just running great for a long time since I was in the shop and the dealership in like June. And I spent like $5,000 on my truck in June. And I didn't really realize how well it was running until winter came on and it just kept starting. Just rump, rump, like a brand new truck. I was like, I love this truck now. I went and got seat covers and did all this stuff because I was so happy with the way the truck was running that I'm like, yeah, this truck's going to last. It's totally going to be an awesome truck for me, right? So the battery light's been going on, just flashed on like a few times, and the alternator's old, and I'm like, well, it probably needs an alternator. And from my research, I realized these trucks need like buffed electrical, right? So I went and bought a buffed alternator package from this company and then made an appointment with this company, Performance Authority, to go install the package, right? So I call them up to make a thing, and like the first thing out of the guy's mouth at Performance Authority was like, well, we don't warranty anything that's like that, right? Like, we're not going to warranty those parts. No warranty. Like, and it was just like, I should have just fucking walked away right then. But no, I was like, wait, what do you mean no warranty? You're not going to warranty your work? And he's like, oh, no, right? Okay. So we get there, and I need a fuel filter as well, right? And so then he talks me into an oil change, so I was like halfway to an oil change, right? And he's like going into this whole like, oh, it needs special oil. Like he's the only one that knows this or something. Like every single oil change place knows those trucks need special oil, and they put the special oil in it. And it's not like super special, it's just special, right? So anyway, okay, let's do an oil change. That's cool, whatever, you know. Let them make some money, I guess. You know, they're going to charge me to put in the parts, but they're not going to make the money on the part. I don't know. You know, just do an oil change, right? And I have them taking out the wiring from the power box, okay? Now, right on the website for power box, 30-minute install. Ben Trailers, 30 minutes to install this wiring. I added another wire right alongside of it, not even the entire distance, and it took me 30 minutes on the gravel, rolling around in the gravel, okay? 30 minutes. They charged me for an hour and a half, I believe, and they cut it out. They want me to believe it took them an hour and a half to chop all this out, okay? Now also, the guy comes out with a bent pull and he's like, oh, did you look in the box before you blah, 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 right? And I'm like, there was no reason to look in the box. The box wasn't beat up in shipping. Oh, well, because the pulley's bent. And I was like, I knew that was bullshit right then and there. Like, by the way he asked the question, oh, did you look? Like, I don't need to look. I buy from high quality vendors, all right? So he's trying to tell me that Fick'emRepair.com put a bent pulley in the box and sent me a bent pulley, right? Yeah, I don't believe that for a half a second, okay? So there's two obvious blatant lies. And then beyond that, they broke some other thing right in the truck. Like they broke a whole entire other thing. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I got that charge as well, right? So when I started that truck and took it to that shop on Wednesday morning, that truck started right up and just went no problems, right? And when I drove it home, it'd already been run all day. So, I mean, that's just typical for it to just run, right? And I got home, I parked it, and I didn't drive for 4 or 5 days, right? And when I tried starting it after that time, the following Monday, so it was at the shop Wednesday, the following Monday I tried starting it, and boom, it's like last winter all over again. Like it just wouldn't start. I'm like, what's going on? Like it had always just started just whoop this whole time, this whole winter. And it wasn't even extra cold, nothing. So I go drive, run errands, and go to Bend, and then I'm on the way back from Bend, and the truck's like all the electrical just completely shuts off, right? Like everything. Like, what the hell's going on? So I call Fickham Repair, and I talk to the super cool guys over there. I talk to them, and maybe it's a bad alternator. Okay, maybe that happens, but there's already a chopped up cord, bent pulley, another broken part. Like, this shop has a freaking track record of being hacky, okay? And now the alternator and the truck won't start. Like, what did they do to my truck? They lied on there, they cheated, they stole from me, and now my truck doesn't run. Okay, so now I get back home, and it's like the truck barely makes it back home. Like, the electrical shuts off, right? So I call this other shop. Now I gotta freaking go to another shop, this Cascade Auto Electric, right? Because Fickham Auto tells me, or FickhamRepair.com tells me I need to take out the alternator and take it into a alternator shop, and I'm just like, so I find a shop that says Auto Electric, okay? Well, apparently the whole world is over busy right now. So, and then I tried to drive to them yesterday, and I get about 5 miles from home and cuts out. And starting the truck yesterday was a whole nightmare as well. Left the backhoe charging it and the block warmer on it for hours, and it would barely start. Like, what did they do to my truck? Like, my truck ran perfectly. I started up for months and months, okay? And I have evidence that it started up perfectly because I actually wrote a really good review on the mechanics that worked on it that ended up it working so nicely, okay? So this is all freaking documented how well. And why would I be putting a $1,500 alternator package in a truck that won't start? Right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The truck was perfect. So I'm like, I'm going to put a little buff on that thing. It's just running like the battery light's coming on. The alternator's probably going to be dying because I taxed the alternator with this BS box I had in the back of the truck, which is out. The box is out, so that's not taxing anything. Okay? So I don't know what these people did, what they could do. I mean, they were just supposed to put a new alternator, take out some wiring that only connected to the battery and the block warmer, right? Like, and then oil change and fuel filter change. That's it. And they destroyed my truck. Like, it's now at one shop, they can't get it started to tell me if the alternator is working or not. So they can't even get the truck started to tell me if the alternator is working or not, which is like, and the dealership, which it needs to go to figure out why it won't start anymore, like, I can't get an appointment with them until like February 17th or something like this. So, I mean, this criminal shop, lying, cheating, stealing, Performance Authority of Bend I'm losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, if I have to have no truck for this amount of time, the amount of rentals I'm going to have to rent, the money I'm losing. I've got this backhoe job that I was supposed to do this week, but I'm dealing with this BS. So now I am losing backhoe revenue. I mean, this is just adding up. And this is all going to be in the lawsuit because it's a small claims lawsuit. I won't have to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to small claims this Performance Authority, and I'm going to get them for every last dollar because I think they went maliciously. I wouldn't even be surprised if the alternator is bad, but it's bad because they did something to it. They destroyed it somehow. And why they're doing all this, I don't know. Like, I have an eyebrow piercing and long hair. Maybe that's all it takes for some people. I have no idea. I was super polite with them. I was friendly. I don't know why they would just destroy my truck maliciously. What is the reasoning? Did somebody come in there like COINTELPRO and say, hey, we want you to destroy this guy's truck. Don't worry, we got you covered. This is the type of thing, like, this is how mad it is, how crazy, why would these people just destroy my truck for no reason? Like the first time, literally as I'm leaving the shop, they tell me, have a nice life. After the whole time, I was like, well, I got a good shop finally. I can get work done to my truck and yada, yada. And I'm walking out the door, and the guy tells me to have a nice life. Red flags were just going, blah, blah, blah. Like, why the fuck did he say that? What the fuck did he do? That's exactly what started going through my head. So this is just unbelievable. This country's falling apart because this is the type of thing, Ford makes a fucking truck that's supposed to last 500,000 miles. Well, they don't. So now you got mechanics and you have to get and do this to get your truck to last the 500,000 miles that you thought you bought it and was going to last. Okay, because that's what it says. When I looked up on the internet, how long does they go 500,000 miles? Because it's so extra to build them and blah, blah, blah. And there's so much more to them. They just can't build them to die like a normal gas motor, right? That's literally what it says. But somehow Ford made this one that has all these issues. But if you fix all these issues, it's just fine. So why wasn't Ford forced to do that in the first place? To teach them a lesson for building things that don't last 500,000 miles, for building diesels that don't last 500,000 miles. I can just go on. This is just what's broke about society. Like these guys that are working on my truck, they're all military. And you know what? The military not only provides our country full of a bunch of people that think killing is a solution, it also provides our country full of a bunch of people that learned their trade in a fantasy world, okay? Because the military has these unlimited budgets. They have no responsibility to ecological, they don't have to be kind to the environment, right? They can just throw whatever they want in the garbage. They can just burn whatever they want, right? And this is where these people, they go to learn in the military. Oh, I'm going to go learn to be a diesel mechanic in the military. And they go, and there's every part on the shelf. There's everything, and just, if it has a little thing, just throw it away. Like this mentality. This is not a mentality. The mentality is recycle, reuse, reduce. Like this should be the mentality. And that's exactly what the opposite we're getting out of the military. Okay. So I don't know why these guys destroyed my truck. I could go on with a million different conspiracy theories why they destroyed my truck. But the bottom line is I don't have a truck. It's at a shop. They can't start it to tell me what's wrong with it. I can't get an appointment for 2 weeks. And all this is going to come out of performance authorities behind, okay? Rental car, tow trucks, like everything. These fools are going to pay because this is just like criminals. Just like who checks people like this if I don't? They just get to keep doing this to everybody else if I don't do something about it. So that's what I'm doing. So there you go. Welcome to some more of my life. Like and subscribe. Peace.